Oh hey, it's your friend that may steal your favorite hoodie when you're not looking. Back for some more tech tea. So without further ado, let's get into it. Here are 3 tech updates to get you through your Friday. Yesterday, players across the globe were banned from Pokemon Go. Here's what you need to know. Niantic, the developers behind the popular mobile game, frequently try to weed out people who may spook their location or break their terms of service in other ways. The community has a love-hate relationship with the devs after some of their updates have been rather lackluster, and they tend to be very generous about giving out these ban sprees to people who don't necessarily deserve them. Among the victims in yesterday's bans were players that use the popular fast catch glitch on wild Pokemon. It's where you can throw a Pokeball, wait a few seconds, then run away. If it's successful, the Pokemon will be in your inventory when you return to the map. Players flooded Twitter to complain to Niantic and official Pokemon Go channels. The popular Pokemon Go news site, Pokemon Go Hub, sent out a tweet and an article saying that their information confirms that these bans were unintentional, and players should have their accounts restored soon if they haven't already. If you're still waiting, they mentioned reaching out to Niantic directly, since there should not be any bans for playing in a way which does not violate any terms of service. Good luck, trainers. Remember earlier this year when I talked about a landmark case between the EU and Apple? No, not the USB-C one. Not the iMessage one either. This is about the sideloading of apps. Well, Apple's finally bringing sideloading to the iPhone, with a catch. Here's what you need to know. Coming to the first half of 2024, Apple says that it will allow customers to download apps without needing to use the App Store, circumventing the need for developers to pay Apple's 15 to 30% fees. But this is only coming to the EU and will be quote-unquote highly controlled. In the coming months, the company will be revamping its software in order to provide some security from these potentially unauthorized apps so that things like iMessage, the phone app, and other things with PII can remain safe, when and if possible. As of right now, Apple has no plans to bring this to the States without, the government making them anyway. And finally, speaking of Apple, iMessage is finally coming to Android while RCS is coming to Apple. Here's what's happening. Turns out sometimes bullying does work. On Tuesday, Nothing, a company that makes stripped versions of Android phones, the ones with the cool lights on the back, they announced Nothing chats, capable of pretty much everything the iMessage can do, besides read receipts and replies anyway. The only problem with this is their way of trying to break Apple's proprietary messaging service is only available to, you guessed it, Nothing's proprietary phones. It's definitely a teapot situation, but it shows that it is possible nonetheless. How'd they do it, you ask? Well, basically an offsite server using iMessage. So cool, but not great. We've also seen solutions similar to this, just not in as clean of a packaging and without signing into some risky site with your Apple ID. Between this, Google and others' constant ad attacks, and the EU antitrust case, we have finally beat down Apple hard enough that they will be adopting the service and may get rid of the green bubble. I'm kidding, they probably won't ever do that. A report from 9to5Mac states that an Apple insider says the feature should come to iPhones later next year, which should bring a ton of iMessage-style features like reactions, read receipts, and others to non-Apple text. Essentially, SMS and MMS will be going away, and hopefully with it, the images and videos that look like someone took them through a beige kaleidoscope will as well. You can bet that Apple will still differentiate iMessages from RCS ones, and will most likely keep us Android peasants as the sickly green it is today. That's all I have for now. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll see you back here for some more tech tea.